everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Keeping It Guyanese with your girl Anna. Today in my kitchen, I've prepared some saltfish, and the saltfish is going to complement some bake. You could check my other video. I'm going to upload the bake recipe video, but this video is my saltfish, and this is how I do my Guyanese saltfish. It's delicious and you're gonna enjoy it. Don't forget, if you're viewing this video, to give me a thumbs up and to press the subscription button. These are the ingredients that you will need. You would need some scallion, we call it seasoning in Guyana, some onions, pepper, and I'm doing shark. This is a shark saltfish. And I have a piece of tomato. I also have wiri pepper from Guyana. So I'm just going to... So I added some vinegar to the water and I'm washing the saltfish with some basically hot water and vinegar. I'll wash it like 2 or 3 times to make sure it's clean and nice before I put it to boil on the stove. We're gonna fill the pot up with enough water for this saltfish to boil. This is shark saltfish all the way from Guyana. And I'm going to put that on the stove on high heat and let that boil. While that's boiling, we're gonna cut all our ingredients up. The scallion, the onion, I have red pepper, green pepper, and as you can see in that bottle, I have wiri pepper all the way from Guyana. So we're gonna cut everything up nicely and we're gonna be adding that to our saltfish when we fry it up. Yep, and I'm gonna dice that tomato. I'm not gonna do it too fine. That is gonna be the last thing you're gonna add to the pot. The last thing you're gonna add when you're frying is your tomatoes. So I diced them nice and square and big, and we're gonna check to see if our saltfish is finished boiling. I'm cutting up another wiri pepper, but by now it would have been like about 40 minutes roughly, or could have been half an hour that the saltfish was boiling. So for me to check, I normally take a fork and I turn the fork in it, and if it's loose enough, that means that it's boiling, it's ready. And it was ready, so I strained it, washed it with some water, and here I go. I'm gonna loose it all up. And inside of the shark saltfish carries some nice brittle bones. I normally do not pick those bones out. I love to fry it with that same bone because they don't have fine bones. My daughter in the background making a lot of noise. Yes, but as I was saying, I love to keep the bone in. So you just take a fork and you go through it to loosen it nicely so that we could fry this saltfish. Yes, you see how it looks? That's how it should be looking. And I had my oil hot in, so I put my onions in. And when it comes to saltfish, some people put a lot of oil in the pan. I do not like an oily saltfish. I am more for a dry saltfish. Not too dry, but not oily. So as you can see, I'm adding my black pepper. And I don't add any salt to the saltfish because that's the reason why it's called saltfish. You do not need to add salt to the saltfish unless you want a really salty saltfish, but I advise you not to add salt to the saltfish. Some people would boil the saltfish out about 2 times before you know, they'll boil it 2 times in the period of that 30 or 40 minutes. I do not do that. I boil it 1 time, and I added Guyanese some Guyanese Fivespice powder. Remember, this is some Guyanese saltfish, so there are certain ingredients that you have to add to get that Guyanese I'm saying Guyanese flavor. So usually that's something that a lot of people add to their food back in Guyana. So we're going to add the saltfish now because we have the peppers in there, we have the onion, and we have the seasoning, some black pepper, right? And we're going to end up putting some onion powder. You could go ahead and add some paprika. So you see I'm adding them in. And you're going to just stir everything in. If you look in the pan, you could see that it do not have a lot of oil in the pan. As I stated, I do not like an oily saltfish. So I'm just going to stir everything around and just let it cook, you know. I'm frying everything and letting it all fry up and catch the flavor of the saltfish. You could taste it if you want. So I'm adding some fresh scallions in there. And as I tell you, we always leave the tomatoes for last. So we're coming down to the end of this saltfish. And we added the tomatoes, and now we just have to stir everything up, right? And let it fry. The video is a little fast so that we could just get through it, but when you're doing it at home, you'll be able to see this is the finished look. This is the finished product. Our Guyanese shark saltfish. I hope that you enjoy this saltfish. And thank you once again for subscribing and for commenting and for leaving a thumbs up. See you guys next time.